I think we should break up. Her voice was quiet, almost shaking. I blinked at her across the cafe table. What? Alina didn't look me in the eyes. Just, I don't feel the same anymore, Zion. I leaned forward. But is it something? I did something, I said. No, it's not that. I've changed. That's not an answer. My chest tightened. We've been together 3 years. You can't just throw that away. I'm sorry. Don't do this, I whispered. Not now. Not like this. I have to. You said you loved me. I did. She finally looked up, tears in her eyes. What? But things are different. Now how? Why? She stood up before I could stop her. Goodbye, Zion, Delina. But she walked away, faster than I'd ever seen her move. I sat there frozen, trying to breathe, trying to make sense of it. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept texting her. She never replied. A week passed. Then Layla called a family dinner. I didn't want to go, but Mom insisted. You haven't eaten with us in days, she said. Just come. Be normal. Normal. I dragged myself to the table. Layla was dressed like a queen. Heavy makeup, a bright smile. Rayan sat beside her, his arm around her chair. Guess what? She said, flashing her diamond ring. We're engaged. Mom gasped. Oh my God, Layla. That's wonderful. Dad clapped. Finally, a match worthy of you. I stared at the ring, then at Rayan. Something clicked. He looked away from me, sipping his drink like nothing mattered. Layla smiled. We'll send out the official invites soon. There'll be a grand wedding. I need air, I muttered, standing up. Zion, Mom started. I said I need air. I walked out. My mind spun like a wheel stuck in mud. Later that night, I did what I shouldn't have done. I checked Layla's Instagram, and there it was. A picture of her and Rayan on a rooftop, fireworks in the background. Her caption read, "It's always been mine." The comments were full of congratulations, but my eyes stopped on one picture, one that shattered my world completely. It was a blurry photo, probably taken by a guest. Layla smiling, Rayan kissing her cheek, and beside them Alina, dressed in a bridesmaid sari, holding Layla's hand, smiling, smiling. I couldn't feel my fingers. My phone dropped to the floor. I grabbed it again, tapped on Alina's profile. Her last post, so happy to stand by my sister's side on her special day. Heart emoji, confetti sister. I scrolled back. Few photos of them together. Childhood flashbacks. Birthday celebrations. How did I miss this? There were stepsisters in my throat. Went dry, she lied. She said she was an only child. She left me so she could stand next to Layla, so she could smile while holding the arm of the man who tore us apart. The next day, I didn't go to work. Zishan called. Bro, are you okay? You haven't replied to anything. I'm fine. Liar. You sound like a dead battery. What happened? She left me, Zishan. I know. I saw the post you saw. He hesitated. I didn't want to say anything. I thought you knew. They used me. I muttered. All of them. Zion. They smiled to my face, then stabbed me when I turned around. He was silent for a moment. What are you going to do? I don't know, I whispered, but I'm not going to forget. Layla came into my room that evening, uninvited as always, still sulking. I looked up slowly. Why didn't you? Tell you what? That you knew Alina? That you two were ... sisters? She rolled her eyes. Step, not real sisters. Don't be dramatic. She was my girlfriend. She's not anymore, she said casually, sitting on my desk like it was her throne. You planned this. No, I just made the best out of the situation. Why him? I asked. Why Rayan? Because he's rich, smart, handsome. I stood up. So you stole her? Just to get him? She was always weak, Layla said, too emotional. I helped her make a better decision. You ruined everything. Made it better. For who? I snapped. You, him. Maybe even her, she shrugged. Oh. Stop crying over a girl who chose status over your sob story. She left, slamming the door behind her. I sank to the floor, my heart cracking in places I didn't know existed. She had her prince. I had my silence. The next morning, I stared at the mirror. My face looked hollow, tired, broken. Get up, I told myself. But I didn't move, because everything I believed in, love, family, loyalty, had vanished in a single week, and the people I trusted the most had burned it all down with a smile. Zion, come downstairs. Dinner's ready. I didn't move. Mom's voice was soft, but distant, like someone talking to a stranger. I stared at the ceiling. Zion, she called again. I pulled the blanket over my head. Silence. That was my answer. The next morning, there was a knock on my door, then Dad's voice. You've been in there for days. That's enough sulking. I didn't answer. You think hiding will fix anything? He said. Face life like a man. I laughed bitterly. Easy for you? To say you still have your wife? He didn't reply. I heard him sigh and walk away. Layla's voice pierced through the hallway. Let him rot. Maybe he'll finally grow up. Rot. I clenched my fists. My chest burned. I dragged myself to the bathroom. My reflection looked like a ghost. Eyes sunken. Hair messy. Face pale. This isn't me. Or maybe it was now. I walked into the kitchen. Mom looked up from her phone. You're alive, she said flatly. Don't sound so excited. She put down her phone. Zion, you have to move on. Act easy. It's been 2 weeks. And she was my life for 3 years. People get hurt, she said. But life doesn't stop. Unless your daughter's the one doing the hurting, right? Don't start. No, let's talk. Layla backstabbed me. You just smiled and served dessert. Watch your tone? You watched my heart break, I said, and you kept quiet. She made a good match. So money makes betrayal okay? Marriage isn't just about love, she snapped. It's about survival. I didn't know love was a weakness. Mom shook her head. You always were too emotional. I stormed out of the kitchen. Dad sat in the lounge reading the paper. You knew too, didn't you? I asked. He lowered the paper. Knew what? That Alina and Layla were close? That she left me for Rayan? She didn't leave you for him? She didn't leave me at all, I shouted. Layla took her enough. I stared at him. Let it happen. I did what was best for this family. No, I said quietly. You did what was best for Layla. He stood up. You want to keep living in the past? Fine. But don't drag the rest of us down with you. I'm not dragging anyone. I just want someone to admit it. He sat back down. It's over. Move forward. I walked away hard. Pounding back in my room, I shut the door. My phone buzzed. One new memory from this day last year, it was a video. Me and Alina in the rain. She was dancing. I was holding her shoes. She looked back and laughed. I'll never leave you. I hit delete. Later, Layla knocked. I need my charger. I opened the door halfway. Take it. She walked in like she owned the place. Still crying over her? I didn't answer. You know, it's not attractive. The whole depressed vibe. I didn't ask you to like me. Well, someone should. You clearly don't. Why are you really here? She grabbed the charger, then paused. You were never good enough for her. Stared at her. But you are. I gave her options. Choices. She made hers. You gave her a cage. She walked into it herself. No, I whispered. You pushed her. Layla smirked. Believe what you want, but she's married now, and you're this. Walked out. That night, I sat on the floor, leaning against my bed. I called Alina's number again. Disconnected. I messaged her. Nothing. I stared at the blank screen for an hour. Then I cried. Not loud. Just quiet, heavy tears that soaked into my shirt. I don't know how long I stayed like that. The next day, Mom came in with folded laundry. Your clothes, she said, setting them down. I didn't look at her. She hesitated. We're having guests over tomorrow. Try to smile, I chuckled. You want me to smile for strangers? They're from a good family. Layla's in-laws, perfect, I muttered. Let's show them our happy home. You're being immature. No, I'm being human. She didn't reply, just turned and left. I pulled open my drawer. Letters, photos, little things Alina gave me. I picked up the bracelet I bought her on our first anniversary. She wore it every day. I held it for a moment and shoved it all into a shoebox, locked it, shoved it under my bed. Later that night, Zishan called, bro, he said softly. Heard what happened? From who? Instagram? Everyone saw? I laughed bitterly. So I'm a meme now? No, man, I'm sorry. You knew they were close? He paused. Honestly, I had no idea. You believe she really chose him? I don't know. I do. I said she didn't. She was cornered. Then why doesn't she reach out? I don't know. I'm here if you need anything, bro. Thanks. Get out of the house sometime. This isn't you. Yeah, that. I didn't move that night. I lay awake again. I thought about her laugh, her voice, her promises, and the way she looked away. When she said goodbye, I closed my eyes, but sleep didn't come, only silence. I opened the bottom drawer of Layla's old study desk, looking for blank paper to sketch on anything to distract my mind. That's when I saw it. Crumpled envelope wedged between some old bills, torn on one corner, no name, no stamp. I reached in and pulled it out. It wasn't addressed to anyone, but I recognized the handwriting, Alina. I hesitated. Should I? My fingers were already unfolding the paper. Layla, please don't do this. I don't want to marry Rayan. You know I don't love him. I still love Zion. I'm begging you, not for me, but for him. Don't destroy him just because you want something from Rayan. You know he won't survive this. I won't either. Please. I'm not strong like you. Alina, my chest tightened. My hands trembled. God, I whispered. She begged you. I stormed out of the room and knocked hard on Layla's door. She opened it slowly, her eyebrows raised. What now? The letter up. You kept this. Her eyes flicked to the paper. She froze for a split second. Where did you find that? You knew she didn't want to marry him? It wasn't your business, she said coldly. She still loved me. Layla folded her arms. Look how far love got you. Forced her? She made her choice. No, you made it for her. She could have said no. She did. Right here, I shouted, waving the letter. You just didn't care. Mom appeared in the hallway. What's going on? Ask your daughter, I snapped. She blackmailed Alina. Layla scoffed. Blackmail? Are you serious? I held the paper out to Mom. Read it. Mom read in silence. Her eyes widened. Layla, she said, almost whispering. Is this true? She's being dramatic, Layla muttered. You threatened her? Mom asked. She was confused. I helped her think straight, by destroying both of us. Layla rolled her eyes. You're acting like she was your wife? Might have been, if you hadn't stolen her. Dad stepped into the hallway. What's going on now? I shoved the letter into his hands. He read it. Twice. Then he looked at Layla. Did you do this? She was weak, Layla muttered. She would have ruined everything. So you ruined her instead, I snapped. She didn't belong with you because I'm not rich enough? Because you're not Rayan? Thank God I'm not. There was silence. Dad cleared his throat. We'll talk later. I laughed bitterly. Right. Later? Like always. I walked back to my room, shut the door, and sat on the floor. The letter was in my hands. Again, each word burned deeper than the last. She didn't leave me. She was taken from me by my own blood. I pulled out my phone and typed, Me. You wrote a letter. I found it. I stared at the screen, then deleted it. What if she didn't want to hear from me? What if she was still trapped? Or worse, what if she chose to stay? My phone buzzed. Zayshawn, you alive? Barely want to grab tea? No, want. Me to come over? I found a letter, I said quietly. From Alina. There was silence. She begged Layla to stop the wedding, said she still loved me, bro. She never wanted any of this. That changes everything. Yeah? Are you okay? No. You want revenge? I want the truth. Later, Mom came into my room. She sat on the bed without asking. I didn't know she said softly, "You didn't want to." Layla told me it was what Alina wanted and you believed her. She's my daughter. So am I. She flinched. I was scared. She whispered, "Scared to lose what we'd built." "You lost something anyway. I'm sorry." I didn't reply. She left the room. The silence felt heavier than before. I looked at the letter. Again, Alina's words echoed in my head. "I'm not strong like you. She tried to fight. She lost so. Did one, but maybe not forever." The letter became more than just ink on paper. It was proof. Proof. I wasn't crazy. Proof she hadn't forgotten me. Proof Layla lied. Folded the letter carefully and placed it in a notebook. Not to forget it, but to protect it. Because it was no longer just a letter. It was the beginning of the truth, and I wasn't going to let it die in a drawer again. Asterisk, are you free right now? I asked. Zishan sounded surprised. Yeah, what's going on? Need to see you. In person. Is everything okay? No, I said. Not even close. 20 minutes later, we met at a roadside chai stall hour, Old College. Spot, he took one look at me and frowned. "You look like hell. I've been living in it." He handed me tea. "Talk to me." I placed the folded letter on the table. Lena wrote this before the wedding. She begged Layla to stop it. He unfolded it, read it slowly. "Holy, this changes everything. She never wanted to marry Rayan. She still loved me. Then why didn't she run? She couldn't," I said. "And I want to know why." Zishan leaned back. "You ready for the real answer? I've been waiting for weeks." He lowered his voice. "Rayan's company was hanging by a thread last year. One of his uncles offered to bail him out. But only if he got married. Respectable wife, good family, traditional. So it was about image." "Exactly. No marriage, no money, no control." I gritted my teeth. "So he used Alina for the show." Zishan shook his head. "That was the plan until Layla stepped in." I froze. "She what?" "She approached Rayan, told him she'd marry him under one condition." "What condition?" "That he make Alina the face of one of his side companies, gave her exposure, a salary, some glamour." I felt my stomach turn. I traded her like property. "She called it a win-win." "For who?" I snapped. "For her. For Rayan. Definitely not Alina." I leaned forward. "Didn't she say anything?" "She couldn't. Layla threatened to leak some old family stuff. Things about Alina's mom. Stuff that would destroy her reputation." I clenched my jaw. So she was blackmailed. She was trapped, Zion. And everyone just let it happen. Zishan looked guilty. I didn't know until it was too late. And even then, I wasn't sure what to believe. "I believe her now," I said, tapping the letter. "Me too." I stared at the ground, my fists clenched. She smiled at her wedding Zishan. She stood there, smiled, and died inside. She was trying to survive. She was supposed to be with me, I know. Rayan knew she was mine. He knew. Zishan sipped his tea. He didn't care. "Layla knew what she was doing. She always does," he muttered. I looked up. "Do you think she still loves me?" Zishan nodded slowly. "She never stopped." "Then why is she still there?" "Because people like Layla don't leave cracks. They build walls around their victims." "Not anymore," I said. "I'm going to tear those walls down." Zishan raised an eyebrow. "What's the plan?" "I want every detail. Every weakness in their story. I want to ruin what they built on lies that could get ugly." "Good. I'm serious, Ian. This isn't college drama. These people have power. I have truth." He smiled in anger. "That too." We sat in silence for a while. Then I asked, "How's Rayan doing?" Zishan smirked. "Not great. His last investor pulled out. He's faking stability, but the cracks are showing. So his little empire is shaking, hard." I finished my tea. "Let's help it fall." That evening I came home and found Layla in the living room, scrolling through her phone. She didn't even look up. "Back already?" I walked past. "Her? Say hi at least," she said. "Say sorry first." She laughed. For what now? For selling someone's soul to buy your crown. She turned slowly. What are you talking about? You blackmailed her? I don't know what you think you know. I know enough. Rayan needed a puppet. You handed him Alina, like a trophy. You think I forced her? I know you did. She stood up. Careful, little brother. You're slipping into fantasy. No, I said. I'm finally waking up. She crossed her arms. So what now? You going to be some hero? No, just the guy who exposes you. She smirked. You don't have proof. I pulled the letter from my pocket and held it up. I have this. Her eyes narrowed. You... Wouldn't I already did? She took a step forward. You really want to destroy your own family? You already did that. Mom and Dad won't side with you. I don't care. You'll lose. Then I'll lose, knowing I stood up for the woman I love. Her jaw tightened. You're pathetic. No, I said. Not anymore. I walked away before she could speak again. I went straight to my room, locked the door, and sat at my desk. Alina's letter lay beside me. Not a weapon, not a weakness. A truth, and for the first time in weeks, I didn't feel broken. Felt ready. I wasn't even supposed to be there. I walked into the bookstore because of the rain. I just wanted to stay dry, and then I saw her, Alina. She was standing in the poetry aisle, holding a book with trembling hands. Our eyes met. She froze. I forgot. How to breathe, Zion, she whispered. Hi, said softly. She stepped back, her lips parting like she wanted to speak but forgot how. I didn't expect to see you here, I added. I come here sometimes, she said, barely audible. I glanced at her hands, empty. No ring, she noticed. I don't wear it in public. Why? She hesitated because it never felt real. I swallowed. How have you been? She laughed, but it wasn't happy. You don't want the real answer? Try me. I wake up every day and wish I hadn't. My heart sank. Alina. I never wanted to marry him, Zion, she said, eyes glassy. I never stopped loving you. I took a step closer. Then why didn't you fight? I did, she whispered. You just didn't hear me. I found the letter, I said. Her eyes widened. What? You begged Layla? I read it. She looked away. That letter was my last hope. It gave me mine back. The silence between us was louder than the rain outside. She wiped her eyes quickly. I tried to call you once. When? 2 days before the wedding. I stood outside your gate for hours. Why didn't you knock? Because I knew. Layla would find out, and she'd make it worse. She already made it worse. Alina lowered her gaze. I didn't think you'd forgive me. I hated you, I admitted. But I never stopped missing you. I never stopped missing us. A child ran past us laughing. Alina flinched. I always imagined we'd have a daughter, she said quietly. Me too, I whispered. She took a shaky breath. It's too late, isn't it? I nodded slowly. You're someone's wife now, only on paper. That paper ruined everything. We stood in silence again. My hands were shaking. She took a deep breath. I should go. I stepped aside. Of course, she walked past me, then stopped. Do you still love me? Every damn day. She blinked back tears. Then why are you letting me go? Because this world already took everything from you. I won't take your peace too. She turned back to face me. You're still the only one who sees me. I always did. Her voice cracked. Then please, don't stop. I looked into her eyes, trying to memorize every detail. I won't, but I have to go now, she said. I nodded. I know. I'll look back one day, she whispered. If you're still there, maybe, said she, smiled. Real one this time. Then I'll come back. And then she left, and I let her. But as I stood there, staring at the door she disappeared through, I knew one thing for sure. It wasn't over. Not yet. Asterisk, bro. You're not gonna believe this, Zishan said, the moment I picked up. What now? Rayon's under investigation. Financial irregularities. Tax stuff. I sat up straight. Are you serious? Dead serious. His main investors? Gone. I couldn't help it. I smiled. Karma's fast these days. Oh, it gets better. That overpriced mansion of his, half mortgaged. Rumors say he's missed 2 payments. Wait, the one with the fake marble floors? The same. That castle's about to collapse. I leaned back and Layla hasn't posted in 5 days. I laughed. That's basically a scream for help. Later, I opened Layla's profile. No wedding reels, no brunch selfies, no motivational quotes, just silence. That wasn't normal. She lived for attention, and now the audience was gone. I called Zishan again. Tell me everything. He sighed. Look, I don't know the full story, but apparently one of Rayan's deals went sideways. Big investor backed out last minute. Some internal documents leaked. People are asking questions, and he's scrambling.
I like it.
Chicken without a head, beautiful. I opened my messages, typed, me. Tell Rayan I hope the throne still feels warm, then deleted it too soon. The next morning, I bumped into Mom in the kitchen. She looked tired. Layla's not answering. Oh, she said they were busy, but something feels off. I sipped my tea. Maybe the mask cracked. What do you mean, nothing, I said, just thinking out loud. Layla called that afternoon. Her voice was sharp. What did you do? I blinked. What? Don't play dumb. Zishan works for Rayan. You put him up to something. Didn't you? I don't control Zishan, but you talk. So do you. Look where that got you, Zion, she growled. If you're trying to ruin my marriage, you did that yourself. You think I'll let you destroy us? Funny, I said. That's exactly what you did to me. She hung up. Xiao called again that evening. You're not going to believe this. I've been hearing that a lot lately. He sold one of his cars. What? The white one. Gone. Quiet listing. He needs cash fast. I chuckled. Did Layla scream? She didn't even show up to the last company event. That's how bad it is. Perfect. That night, I sat on the balcony, watching. The streetlights flicker. It felt good, no. It felt right. They built their world on lies. Now it was turning to dust. The next day, Dad barged into my room. Zion, did you say something to your sister? She called me. She's upset. She ruined my life. She says you're making things worse. She deserves worse. She's still your sister. And I was still her brother when she stabbed me in the back. He didn't reply. I opened the news app. A headline caught my eye. Rayan Malik's company under review for tax fraud allegations. I read the article twice. Then I smiled. I called Zishan again. Tell me it's true, he laughed. Oh, it's real. Government audit. Lawyers everywhere. What about Alina? She hasn't been seen in days. People are asking questions. Is she okay? No idea. But if I hear anything, let me know, I said quickly. Please, I will. Walked into the living room, Mom was scrolling through her phone, frowning. She hasn't replied to my texts. Alina, Layla. She's probably busy deleting old posts. Zion, she said, be kind. Too late for that. I got a message that evening. Unknown number, can we talk? Amy Hart stopped. I typed me, when and where. Tomorrow. Same bookstore. 5 p.m. I stared at the screen, then whispered, I'm not done yet. Asterisk dinner was quiet. Too quiet. Forks scraped plates. No one talked. No one dared. I waited for her to speak. But she didn't. So I did. I have something to say. Layla didn't even look up. Can it wait? No. Dad raised an eyebrow. Zion, I've stayed silent long enough. Rayan reached for the water jug. This again? I pulled the letter from my pocket. Layla's eyes froze. I unfolded it slowly. Let me remind everyone what this family ignored, Mom whispered. Zion, please don't, but I'd already started. Layla, please don't do this. I don't want to marry Rayan. You know I don't love him. I still love Zion. The air shifted. Dad dropped his spoon. It hit the plate with a sharp clink. I kept reading. I'm begging you not for me, but for him. Don't destroy him just because. You want something from Rayan? Mom gasped softly. Layla stood up. Enough. I folded the letter calmly. You lied to all of us, Rian. Looked from her to me. What the hell is that? Truth, I said. Alina never wanted you. She begged not to marry you. He blinked. You knew? He asked Layla. She was confused, Layla said. Quickly. Emotionally. It didn't mean anything. You blackmailed her, I snapped. Don't spin it. You don't know what you're talking about. I know everything now. Dad's voice trembled. Is this real, Layla? She's twisting things, answer him. I barked. She flinched. Yes, she admitted finally. I convinced her. But it wasn't like that. You convinced her with threats, I said. I did it for us, for the family, for your ego. Mom covered her mouth, eyes filled with tears. Layla, how could you? I protected our image. At what cost? Dad asked. Layla's voice cracked. No one ever believed in me. I had to prove I was worth something. So you destroyed 2 lives to feel powerful. I said, congratulations. She slapped me hard. The room went silent. I didn't move. I didn't blink. You hit me, I whispered. Now everyone sees who you really are. She looked around. Aren't any of you going to say something? No one moved. Dad stared in too. His plate mom wiped her tears. Even Rayan stood, adjusting his collar. I'm done, he muttered. Layla spun around. What? I'm done, Layla. You're leaving. You tricked me. Trapped her. Lied to your own family. What kind of life is this? You're just going to walk away? Yes. He walked out, just like that. She stood in the center of the room, shaking. I did everything for this family, she whispered. No, I said. You did it for yourself. You're all cowards, she snapped.
I'll leave.
Still, no one replied. She stormed upstairs, slamming the door behind her. I sat down again. Dad cleared his throat. Zion? I didn't know. I know. Mom reached across the table, touching my hand gently. I'm sorry. I nodded. For the first time, I didn't feel small. I felt seen. A knock came at the door around midnight. Soft, hesitant. I opened it, expecting the wind. It was her, Alina, hair damp from rain, eyes swollen. Can I come in? She asked, barely audible. I stepped aside. You don't have to ask. She walked. In slowly, arms crossed. I couldn't sleep. I haven't slept in days. She looked around. It's still the same. So is everything inside me, I said. She turned to me. Zion, there's something I never told you. I felt my chest tighten. What is it? I was pregnant, she whispered. The room spun. What? She nodded. Before the wedding, before Layla forced me into all of it. I stepped back. You're saying? It was yours. I sat down. My legs wouldn't hold me. You were carrying my child. Yes, I stared. At the floor? Why didn't you tell me? I wanted to. I almost did. But she found the test. She threatened everything, my mom. Your future, even my body. My future, I laughed bitterly. She already destroyed that. I thought keeping quiet would protect you. You thought wrong. She started crying. I didn't move. Kept the secret because I thought I was being brave, she said. You were suffering alone. I lost the baby 2 months after the wedding. I looked up slowly. What happened? Stress, panic, silence. I broke down one night. Dawn. It just happened. Did anyone take you to the hospital? No one knew. I bled in the bathroom. Alone. I closed my eyes, gripping the edge of the table. God wanted to die. I stood, fists clenched. You should have come to me. I thought you'd hate me. I hated losing you, not knowing this, not knowing them. I still... Remember the night it happened, she said. I was cramping, shaking. Rayan was out drinking. Layla was posting photos online. And you were bleeding in silence. Shh, she nodded. I covered my face. I would have held your hand. I know. I would have taken you away from all of it. I know. Tears filled my eyes.
Ow!
He carried our child and buried it alone. She nodded again. And that's when I knew. I couldn't survive there much longer. I can't breathe, I said, pacing. She walked to me, reached for my hand. You still make me feel safe. You still break me. I needed you to know. ... For pity. Just ... For truth. You should have told me sooner. I was scared. I looked at her. I'm scared too, of losing you again. She looked exhausted. I don't want pity. I'm not offering any. I just want peace. You deserve it, do I? She asked. After everything I let happen, you didn't let anything happen? You were trapped. I was weak. You were strong enough to survive. It's more than I can say for most. She sat on the couch, hugging her knees. I still dream about her, she whispered. Her, our baby. I always felt it was a girl. I swallowed hard. I used to picture us with a daughter. I named her in my head. What name? Zoya. ... Heart cracked. That's beautiful. She leaned her head on the cushion. Sometimes I think she left because she didn't want to be born into a lie. Or maybe she left so we could start over. I don't think I have anything left in me. You have me. You shouldn't still want me. I never stopped. She looked up, teary-eyed. What do we do now? First we cry. We did. Together until the sun came up. Asterisk, my secretary buzzed me. There's a man here. Says, his name is Rayon Malik. I froze. Send him in, I said. The door opened slowly. He walked in, shoulders low, face pale. Zion, he said quietly. I leaned back. Didn't expect to see you here. I didn't know where else to go. He pointed to the chair across from me. Sit. He did awkwardly, like his bones were too heavy. What brings you here? I asked. I heard you're hiring. I raised an eyebrow. You want a job? Yes? I smiled. Say that again? He hesitated. I need work, Zion. I folded my hands. Why me? I've burned bridges. Blames of your own making. He nodded. I made mistakes. That's putting it mildly. Not proud of how things happened. You were never proud. You were arrogant. He looked down. That arrogance cost me everything. Silence. I watched him squirm. Let me guess, I said. Your investors are gone. Your accounts are frozen. And Layla, well, she's probably blaming everyone but herself. She left. I blinked. What? She packed and went to her aunt's. Impressive. I thought she'd at least stick around until the lights went out. She said she's tired of being embarrassed. I chuckled. Now she knows how I felt. He looked up slowly. I'm not asking for pity. Good, I said, because I don't have any. He nodded. I just need something. Anything. You remember sitting across from me once at your engagement dinner? He flinched. You smirked the whole night. I was an idiot. You still are. He sat straighter. I deserve that. No, I said. You deserve worse. He swallowed hard. I know. You married my sister for status. And dragged Alina into a lie, all for power. I thought I was building an empire. You built a prison, and now I'm paying for it. I stood and walked to the window. Do you know how many nights I stayed up, wondering what I did wrong? He said nothing. I blamed myself. Thought maybe I wasn't enough. You were more than enough, he whispered. I turned. Now, you say that. He nodded. Now, I understand. I don't care if you understand. I just want a chance. To do what? Sit in this office and pretend you never ruined lives? I'll do anything. I walked back to my desk. You know what hurts more than screaming? Shook his head. Silence. I leaned forward. So I'm not going to shout. I'm not going to throw you out. I'm going to give you exactly what you gave me. What's that? I smiled coldly. Emptiness. His face dropped. You can't even spare one job? I built this with my own pain. You think I'll hand any piece of it to you? Lowered his eyes. I have nothing left. I shrugged. Maybe start where I did. Alone, broken, unemployed. He stood up stiffly. I thought, maybe it'd be different. I am. He blinked. Then why does this feel worse than if you'd yelled? 'Cause I didn't need to. He walked toward the door. then stopped. Alina still loves you, I know. She never looked at me the way she looked at you. She never belonged to you. He nodded. I finally believed that. He walked out. I didn't stop him, didn't gloat, didn't smile. I just sat back in my chair and breathed. It was done. Asterisk, I heard yelling before I even stepped into the house. Please, just talk to him. Layla's voice cracked. Rayan made his choice, Dad said firmly. He's confused. I know he still loves me. He doesn't, Mom whispered. And deep down, you know it. I walked into the living room. Layla turned to me immediately. You. She snapped, you did this. No, I said calmly, you did. He left me, Zion. He's filing for divorce, I heard. She rushed over, tears running. Please, tell them something. Help me. Why would I? You're my brother. Not anymore, she gasped. You don't mean that? I do. I was desperate. Okay, I didn't know what else to do. So you ruined 3 lives to feel in control? I loved him, no. You loved what he had. Dad stood. That's enough. I tried to protect you all, she cried. Mom shook her head. You lied, manipulated. Now it's falling apart and you want sympathy? Layla collapsed onto the sofa. He said he wants Alina now. Thinks she'll come back. She won't, I said. She will. Layla screamed. She's always been weak. Not anymore, I said. She's stronger than all of us. Layla looked up. Do you still want her? That hit me. I don't know. You're lying, she whispered. You'd take her back in a second. No, I said. Not like this. Then why do you care if he tries? 'Cause she deserves peace. Mom looked at me. Do you still love her? I hesitated. I always will. But do you trust her? That was harder to answer. Layla laughed bitterly. Of course he doesn't. She broke him too. It was forced, I said. You. She still went through with it. You held her life hostage. Stop blaming me for everything, Layla snapped. Rayan walked away. Not me. Because he saw who you are. So what about you, Zion? You're not so innocent? Never claimed to be. She stood. Fine. Let him go. Let her go. Let them both go. See if I care. You do care, Mom said quietly. That's why you're breaking now. Layla wiped her face. I want things back the way they were. They never were real, I said. She stormed out of the room. Silence filled the space. Later that evening, I met Alina at the garden behind her mother's place, you heard? I asked, she nodded. She called me twice. What did she say? That Rayan wants a second chance with me? And? I said no. I looked at her. Just like that? She shrugged. He doesn't love me? He just lost control. And what do you want? She looked at me for a long time. Not him, she said. I smiled faintly. And me? I love you, she whispered. But I don't want to be anyone's second choice. You never were, weren't I? You were taken from me. That wasn't a choice. But you still waited. You didn't fight. I didn't know how. She looked down. So what now? I don't know. Do we start again? Can we? I want to, she said. But I'm scared, I admitted. So am I. We sat on the bench, quietly. She placed her hand over mine. I don't need promises, just honesty. I can give you that, she smiled. That's enough. Do you still love me? Lena asked, her voice soft but steady. I didn't answer right away. I just stared out at the lake. Zion. Yes, I whispered. I do. She exhaled like she'd been holding her breath. Then can we try? Again, I looked at her. Her eyes were tired but honest. You really want that? I wouldn't be here if I didn't. I shook my head. It's not that simple, I know, she said. But maybe we don't need simple, real. We sat in silence for a while. I think about the past a lot, I said. Not just you. Everything. I do too. Some days I hate you, I confessed. She looked down. I understand. But most days, I hate myself more. Don't. I'd let you go without a fight. I didn't give you a chance to fight. You were scared. So were you. I stood up. I don't want to go backward. Neither do I, she said. I want to go forward with you. Then why does it still hurt? Because we haven't healed yet. I nodded slowly. I'm scared, Alina. Me too. I don't want to live in fear anymore, I said, or anger. She stood beside me. So what do you want? Peace. She smiled faintly. So do I. Then maybe we don't need to rush back into love. Then what? We take it slow. She took my hand, like starting over. Exactly. No labels, no promises, just honesty. In time, I can do that. I looked at her. We deserve to heal first. Together? Yes. I said together. That night I walked alone. No destination. Just streets and thoughts. I passed the bookstore where we met again, the corner where I cried after the wedding, the bridge I almost jumped from but didn't. I kept walking. Do you forgive her? I heard Zesian's voice in my mind. Which one? I had asked Layla. No, I'd said. But I'm done hating her and Rayon. Let karma finish what I started. And Alina. I paused, I still don't know. Now I did, it wasn't about forgiving her. It was about forgiving myself. For being silent. For hurting. For surviving. The next morning I met Alina at the cafe. She smiled when she saw me. You came. I said I would. We ordered tea. Sat by the window. She reached for my hand. I let her take it. I don't want revenge anymore. Said good, she replied. It only burns us. I just want peace. So do I. I looked into her eyes. Let's heal first. Nodded together. For the first time in a long time, I felt whole. Asterisk. Do you think we'll ever forget? Lena asked, stirring her coffee. No, I said. But I think we'll stop bleeding. She smiled faintly. You always say things like that. Like what? Like you've lived 100 years? I chuckled. Feels like it sometimes. We sat on the rooftop cafe, the sun warm in our backs. Soft breeze danced between us. You still write in that old notebook? She asked every night. What do you write? Thoughts? Regrets? Forgiveness about me? Sometimes she looked away. Do I scare you now? Why would you? Because I broke you once. I shook my head. You didn't. Break me. Life did. And now, I'm healing. She nodded. Me too. Did you hear about Rayan? She asked. No. He left the country. I sipped my tea, running from debt. Maybe shame. He's not worth our breath. I agree. Silence again, but it wasn't awkward. Just calm. You ever think about what could have been? She asked all the time. And does it hurt? Not anymore. Why not? Because what we have now is real. She reached for my hand. Even if we never go back to what we were, especially because of that. She smiled. Changed. So have you. I like this version of you. I'm still learning who I am. We stood and walked to the edge of the rooftop. I passed by your sister's shop yesterday, she said. You went in? No, just saw her. She looked different. She is. She looked tired. She should be. You don't hate her anymore? No, I said. I just don't care. That's power, she whispered. Not caring. No, that's peace. She nodded. I want that too. You'll find it. So will you. So we walked. Downstairs, I asked. Do you miss us? She took a breath. I miss the idea of us, but I love the reality of now. That's deep. It's true, I get it. A few weeks later, Zishan called. You won't believe who applied. At my office today. Don't say Rayon. Worse. Layla, I laughed. What did you do? Didn't even interview her. Cold fair. After we hung up, I stared at the ceiling. Not out of sadness, out of gratitude. I had survived. I had grown. I had let go the next day. Lena texted, Want to visit the orphanage with me? They're painting the walls today. I'll bring snacks, I replied. When we arrived, kids ran to her. She knelt and hugged them all. I just watched. She looked so free, so alive. Later, while painting, she said, You're quiet today. Just grateful for what? For pain. Why? It brought me here, she smiled. Me too. We didn't talk much after that. We didn't need to. Not every story ends with a kiss. Some end with peace, and I had finally found mine. Asterisk.